spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport.
At the gun, the outrider throws the stove into the rear of the wagon, and away they go.
Another incredible spine-tingling finish by Wilma Rudolph of the United States. The thrill of victory.
The 116th run for the Roses goes to unbridled.
You're one of the Bundle Burners. I love you.
And the agony of defeat.
Look out! Look at him go!
Oh, baby, what a terrible fall.
The human drama of athletic competition.
Fly ball deep left field. McGrath is there. It's over.
In our 31st year, this is ABC's Wide World of Sport.
From our ABC studios in New York, here's Frank Gifford.
Today on Wide World, we start on the road to the Kentucky Derby and the Chrysler Triple Crown Challenge with the Florida Derby. Between now and May 2nd, when the 3-year-olds will run for the roses at Churchill Downs, we'll bring you the Santa Anita Derby on April 4th, the Bluegrass Stakes the following week, and on April the 18th, the Wood Memorial. And it all winds up with the Kentucky Derby May the 2nd. Well, it's hard to believe 14 years ago this week on Wide World, we caught our first glimpse of the last Triple Crown winner, Affirm. It was his first race as a 3-year-old, and remember, young Stevie Cawthon was aboard. Well, joining us now from Gulfstream Park, site of today's Florida Derby, is Jim McKay. And Jim, always at this time, hopes are running high as the 3-year-old picture starts to take shape. But this year, along with the usual excitement in the 3-year-old world, we have one of the most unusual collections of horses in recent years.
Well, we do. You know, there is a favorite, a Rossi. But basically, it's a very tough year, Frank, to sort out the 3-year-olds. Every winter about this time, we locate the favorites for the Derby on a map of the United States, indicating where each of the horses has done most of its racing. However, this year, a map of the U.S. isn't enough. We need a map of France to find the favorite. His name, as I said, is a Rossi. In his only race in the U.S., he won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile in smashing fashion. He's training in France and will race only once on April 7th in France before the Kentucky Derby. From Great Britain will come Dr. Devious, recently purchased by Jenny Craig, she of the weight loss salons. And in California, the current Derby second choice, AP Indy, is sharpening his skills, and Bertrando races tomorrow. Now, Arkansas is set to send Pine Bluff and his recent conqueror, Big Sur. They'll probably meet in the Arkansas Derby. And New York, well, the Big Apple is a big question mark this year, but something should pop up there soon. And here in Florida, we have the favorite for today's Florida Derby, Dance Floor, owned by Hammer, the rap artist, and his family. But right now, let's check the specifics of today's Florida Derby. It is, in fact, a $500,000 race at 1 1/8 miles. That's 1/8 of a mile shorter than the Kentucky Derby. The track is fast. Temperature, they say, 67 degrees. It feels cooler than that with a rather stiff north breeze. Here are the odds. My luck runs north at 30-1. Katiri Bello from Venezuela, 6-1. 25-1 on Screen Machine. Technology at 12-1. Pistols and Roses, the local favorite, at 3-1. 30-1 on Careful Gesture. Looking at the others, Tiger, rather surprising, 10-1. Should be higher, you think. After the beat, 99-1. Could be 100 or more. Black Question at 60-1. 35-1 on Tank's Number. Dance Floor, the favorite, the 4-5 favorite, in fact. And Wacky Warrior, 25-1. And now let's check in with Charlsie Cantey. Charlsie, as usual, it's very hard, don't you think, to sort out these 3-year-olds every year?
Well, we've got less than 50 days until the Kentucky Derby, Jim, and at this point in the season with the 3-year-olds, it always seems like the situation's the same, where we have an accomplished few being challenged by an ambitious many. Horses like a Rossi, Bertrando, and AP Indy are proven commodities, but the majority of the Kentucky Derby nominees are scrambling to make the cut, and today's race mirrors the national situation. Dance Floor stands out. Pistols and Roses is solid, but there are 10 others. They're all talented, but they need stronger resumes to proceed on to Louisville, so this is really the moment of truth for them, Jim.
Yeah, it sure is for all of these horses here. You know, there's a great contrast in today's race, particularly between two horses. Dance Floor, with all the glamour of the famous rap artist and the famous trainer Wayne Lucas, and Careful Gesture, who's owned by his trainer and is the son of the loneliest stallion in Florida.
Light, gonna make it right.
Come on, the light.
The ghost of August Belmont must have been shocked at this scene. The Burrell family celebrating at Belmont Park last spring, shirtless in the winner's box at Belmont. But Hammer and his family are in this game for fun, and the fun has continued this winter. This was Dance Floor, their 3-year-old colt, winning a smashing victory in the Fountain of Youth Stakes here at Gulfstream Park. The world's most famous rap artist brings extra attention to the horse. But actually, Dance Floor races in the name of Oaktown Stable. That's the street corner nickname for his hometown, Oakland, California. Horse is owned by Hammer, his two brothers, and the spark plug of the team, his dad, known as Pops.
There's a new breed of people coming in, you know, and racing has to have its fun like any other sport. We just have to be one of those people who love to enjoy, you know. I mean, we're very serious about racing, and we're not in this game for 1 year, 2 years. I plan to have my grandkids race horses. You know, so it's not a 1 or 2 year plan. This is something that we are hoping that the Burrells will be involved in races for the next 100 years.
So the Burrells are too legit to quit. Now, what's a retired 30-year vice president in the oil business doing walking a horse on the backside? Well, this is Ray Dixon, and he's making his life's dream come true. He's the owner and trainer and breeder of Careful Gesture. Careful Gesture is the product of a test mating of his $6,000 mare to a South American stallion also owned by Dixon. No one else would breed to Ray Dixon's stallion that year. No one. Can this kind of breeding produce a miracle Derby winner?
Well, the line of probability is practically nil, but the facts are it's possible. And that's the whole business about breeding, and what makes it such an interesting endeavor is the fact that you can very possibly make a match like this that really works.
Well, Zafarrancho, the stallion, isn't quite as lonely this winter as people start bringing their mares to him because his son, Careful Gesture, finished second in the Fountain of Youth. Unfortunately, the incident you will see in the stretch caused his disqualification. He was placed 5th, but he had actually finished second to Dance Floor, the favorite in today's race. Well, suppose he wins, Ray.
How would I feel to win the Florida Derby? Exuberant. Really great, of course. If that should happen, then at least we could be justifiably feel that we could accept the congratulations.
Well, the hottest horse in Florida is owned by one of the hottest names in show business, and his family. There is Hammer up in the owner's boxes here at Gulfstream Park, dressed with great dignity today in his red and white. There's Ray and Cecilia Dixon. Remember, Careful Gesture. They're serious about it. This could be the biggest day in their racing lives. Now, for the other contenders, let's go up to our man who calls the races every time, Dave Johnson.
Hometown hero of the 3-year-old crop in Florida is this striking great colt Pistols and Roses. Never out of Florida, but never out of the money. He won 4 straight, topped off by this runaway in the Flamingo Stakes. He's never known another rider than Herb Castillo Jr. But there's another Castillo in the barn area here at Gulfstream. His mom, Gloria, who trains another contender, Scream Machine. Now, with her son committed, Gloria has come up with a suitable replacement. Pat Day, who won the Florida Derby 2 years ago with Unbridled. His ride today, the homebred Scream Machine, has the speed and could provide his fans with more thrills on the road to the Triple Crown than the amusement ride he's named after. You know, this horse race could turn into a jockey's race, and no jockey's been hotter this winter in stakes competition than Jerry Bailey. Jerry had a chance to ride 3 or 4 different horses in here, but instead he encouraged trainer Sonny Hine to go ahead and run a lightly raced colt by the name of Technology, who is not nominated to the Triple Crown. But if he does well this afternoon, they may well pay the $4,500 supplemental fee by April 1st to make him eligible to the Classics later this spring.
Well, as you saw, they are nearing the starting gate for this year's running of the Florida Derby. We'll be back for the race.
What if you left all your worries behind? You grabbed the family, your skis, maybe...
During the starting gate, at this moment, only 3 horses are less than 12 to 1 in the field. Kind of unusual. Look, you can see it there. Just Catire Bello, the invader from Venezuela, at 8 to 1. Pistols and Roses, the local favorite, at 3 to 1. And the favorite Dance Floor at 4 to 5. Those are the only horses under 12 to 1 at the moment. Incidentally, 11 of 19 odds-on favorites in the Florida Derby have won the race. Let's go upstairs now to Dave Johnson. Okay, Dave.
There's Technology with Jerry Bailey moving into line. He's won 2 this afternoon, as has Julie Crone. And there's Pistols and Roses, the horse who keeps on improving. Easy to spot. He's the great colt in the contest. Young Herb Castillo aboard. Careful Gesture. Late Speed. There's Julie Crone. Tiger trained by Scotty Schulhofer, who won it last year with Fly So Free. After the Beep. And there's Black Question. After the Beep, Jean Couguet, who won the Triple Crown with Seattle Slew. Black Question is named after a bull that Carl Nafsker, the trainer, rode in a rodeo circuit right here on Wide World of Sports. Craig Perret aboard. Jorge Velazquez rides the 10-horse Tank's Number. Velazquez has won this race twice with such outstanding thoroughbreds as Alydar and Proud Truth. And here comes the big horse, Dance Floor, the 4-5 choice with Chris Antley aboard. A very bad post position, though. He'll be probably caught 2 or 3 wide around the clubhouse turn. Wacky Warrior completes the dozen. All 3-year-olds, 1 1/8 miles. And they're off. And after the Beep, reared at the start and got off very slowly. On the extreme outside, Wacky Warrior shows quick early speed. Technology between horses. Black Question right there. Dance Floor is 4th on the outside, 3 off the rail. Scream Machine is saving ground along the inside. Pistols and Roses right there between horses, 5th, just 3.5 off the lead. Then a gap of 2 to the Venezuelan Catire Belo. Tank's Number on the outside is next. Then comes Careful Gesture. Then Tiger Tiger, 3.5 lengths farther back. It's After the Beep, and My Luck Runs North is 12th and last as they straighten away down the backstretch. And Early Fires has the very long shot Wacky Warrior on the front end with a 4-length advantage. Technology, the lightly raced colt, is 2nd. Black Question is racing 3rd. There goes Dance Floor moving up on the outside, 4th. At the rail, the Great Colt, Pistols and Roses, is 5th. It's a gap of 6 lengths to Tank's Number. And Scream Machine has pulled up. Scream Machine pulling up on the backstretch. Around the far turn, Wacky Warrior leads it. Technology now pursuing from the 2nd spot. Here comes Dance Floor on the outside to challenge. Technology puts ahead in front. Dance Floor to challenge on the outside. The early pace setter, Wacky Warrior, back into 3rd. Then comes Pistols and Roses. Tank's Number. Black Question. Catire Bello is next as they straighten away in the stretch. Dance Floor on the outside. At the rail, Technology. They're stride for stride. And down the stretch they come. Technology on the inside with a short lead. Dance Floor not gaining on the leader. A 16th to go. And Technology is going to take the Florida Derby with Jerry Bailey aboard under the wire to win it by 4. Dance Floor in a photo for the place. I believe he was 2nd. Pistols and Roses finished 3rd. So Technology justifies the confidence that Jerry Bailey placed in him. Sonny Hines. And then now they're going to have to decide whether or not to supplement this horse to the Triple Crown. Trained by Sonny Hines, Jerry Bailey in the irons. Technology home in 1 minute 50 and 3/5 seconds.
Well, there is Technology, a horse that had only raced 4 times coming into the Florida Derby, never at this distance of 1 1/8 miles, but it looks like he can get it for sure. Jerry Bailey won his first race aboard this horse by 7, now 2 for 2 on him. Jerry, of course, winning the Preakness and the Belmont last year aboard Hansel. Scream Machine pulled up. We're checking to see what the problem might be there, but there is the unofficial winner of the Florida Derby, Technology, trained by Hubert Sonny Hine, the only horse trainer I know who speaks Mandarin Chinese, as well as English, of course.
This is a talented colt. He's been forced to play catch-up, and he played it very well.
He went away.
Scream Machine into the ambulance there. This is one videotape from a few minutes ago. That was the horse that pulled up in the backstretch. And I'm with his rider, Pat Day. Pat, what happened with the horse?
Well, down in the first turn, he felt pretty good, Jim. He changed leads and went in the turn fine. When he turned up the backside, as soon as he came off his inside lead, he went to getting off the left front real bad. My initial impression is that he pulled the suspensories in the left front, but it was bad enough that I needed to pull him up and give him a chance to recover.
Well, there we saw him pulling up on the backstretch, now almost out of the picture. Well, that's too bad, Pat, but you'll be back to fight another day. We know that.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Thank you very much for coming by. Here is Jerry Bailey. Congratulations to you.
Thanks, Jim.
You got yourself another good 3-year-old.
Well, he looks pretty good right now. He's lightly raced, and he's kind of coming to himself. So hopefully the best things are to come.
Okay, the race obviously went perfectly according to plan as far as you're concerned. Let's pick it up at the far turn, and you can call it for us.
I kind of figured I would be stalking early fires, which he was. Dance Floor came to me, which I kind of had anticipated. And I thought Dance Floor would give me a little tougher time through the stretch than he did.
Well, we got Chris Antley here, too. Chris, come on with us. What happened with your horse in the stretch here?
Well, you know, I had a perfect trip. I galloped to Jerry real easy and thought I had taken command, was going to take command of the race. I peeked back midway around the turn, and nobody was there, and I was just sitting, and my horse was galloping. But when I called on him, Jerry's horse kind of picked it up a little quicker than mine did.
Okay. Well, were you concerned at all, Jerry, about the fact this horse had never gone this distance?
You know, he did go this distance, not this distance, but 2 turns the same day as the Fountain of Youth and ran 3/5 of a second slower. So I thought if he improved off that race, he'd be competitive today, and he proved me right.
Okay, gentlemen. Well, thank you both. We'll
Thanks
see you again, I'm sure, Chris, and keep it going, Jerry.
I hope so.
All right. Now let's go across the track to Charlsie Cantey with the winning trainer, Hubert Sonny Hine.
Who's also Gulfstream Park's leading trainer, and he just showed us why. This is Sonny Hine, owner Scott Savin. Congratulations.
And other owners.
A whole team. We've got a whole team.
Everybody owns ours.
Sonny, you had to really play a game of catch-up with this colt. I know you had to kind of do something you maybe didn't want to do, but he did it well.
Yeah, I was real reluctant. I got to thank the jockey because he had more encouragement than anybody. He said, let's go. And I said, gee, you know, maybe we're rushing. He said, Sonny, this horse is fine. Just go ahead. So we want to thank Jerry Bailey for a fine ride, plus the, you know, to give us the incentive to go ahead, because we would have sat cool to the bluegrass.
Well, he did everything right every part of the way and really ran a big race. We'll see you soon, and we'll go back right now to Jim McKay.
Okay, so the winner is Technology, paying $26.20, $7.20, and $4.40. Dance Floor, $3 and $2.20, the beaten favorite, and the local favorite, Pistols and Roses, finishing third and paying $2.80. The Perfecta, or Exacta as it's called in many places, paid $63.60, and the Trifecta, $175.40. So that's the story again. Technology. Is he on his way to the Kentucky Derby? It sure looks like it. Chapter 1. Chapter 1 in our little springtime series leading up to the Triple Crown is done. Now back to you, Frank.